Hey guys, what's up? It's Dallas and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here as always. In today's video, guys, we are going to be doing something that has become very popular. I have been absolutely loving all the reverse seam trends, or like basically where you can see all the stitching is on the outside. So I think it depends on what you want to call it, but I kind of just call them like reverse seam tops. So basically your seams would normally be on the inside of your garment. They're actually going to be seen on the outside of your garment. So if you're using a contrasting colored thread, this can look really cool. So for today's video, I did go ahead and find this pattern on Etsy. I will leave that link down below for you guys if you want to download the pattern. So you are going to need that. It's pretty inexpensive. It was under $10 Australian. The other thing you're going to need is just obviously some fabric. We're going to be using a stretch fabric because I love sewing with stretch fabric. If you're using a stretch fabric, this project is amazing because you can just use up all like the little bits and scraps that you've got laying around. So with this one, I actually used like 2 different colors from different little scrap bags that I had kept in my cupboard. The other thing you're obviously going to need is your overlocker or your serger, and that's what's going to give us that really cool exposed seam look. And then the last thing you're going to need is just a string so you can string up the center of the top. I've just used like a satin ribbon, like a satin cord, but you guys can literally use anything you have laying around, like some old yarn, anything. So it just needs to be a non-stretch string. But now that we've got everything we need for the video, let's jump on into the tutorial. Alrighty guys, so the first thing you're going to need is your pattern. I've obviously gone ahead and cut out all the pieces and stuck them together. So we're going to go ahead and choose 2 contrasting fabrics. I really like these 2 fabrics together because you can see it's got a little bit of pink in the snake skin. So I just thought those 2 would work really well together. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my pattern piece. What you're going to need to do is cut one facing up, and then you're going to need to flip that pattern piece over. So here I'm just laying it out, and then I'm going to cut with my rotary cutter, I almost forgot what that was called then, and just cut out the other piece with the pattern piece flipped over. Alright, so now that we have cut out our pieces, we're going to go ahead and cut a long strip. I just cut a super long strip out of my fabric, so this is going to be the ones that you want to be in the front. So this is the same as the pieces you just cut it out in the same color. So it will need to be 1 inch wide, and then I just cut a really nice long strip. So then we're going to cut that into those little tabs that you can see at the front of the top that are going to lace it up. So they're going to need to be 2 inches by 1 inch. So I'm just cutting a really long 1 inch strip. So hopefully that made sense. You should have something that looks like this now. We're going to pop that to the side and we'll cut that up later. So now we're going to move on to our front pieces. So these are the ones that you'll see right at the very front. So they're like your front panels. So I have just cut out 2 pieces in the front piece, flipping it over, and then obviously you're going to need to cut out your back piece. That one you will have to cut on the fold, it specifies that on the pattern. So then we should have something that looks like this, and like I said to you, we're going to cut out those front pieces. Again, you're going to need to flip that front pattern piece over, so then you've got 2 pieces that go together. So now you have something that looks like this, and then you've got your back piece as well. And then we're ready to start cutting that strip. So I'm just cutting 2 inch little pieces, and then I just use my first piece to measure all the other ones. So you're going to need 14 in total. So we're going to need 7 on either side of the top. So you're going to need 14 little 2 inch by 1 inch little strips. So you should have something that looks like this. And we're going to serge down the edge of both those sides, and then we're going to serge along the bottom of all the front pieces and the back piece as well. So with your little strips, I'm just doing either side, so it should look something like this, and then pop that to the side. This part probably is the most time consuming, but then we should have something that looks like that. And I've also gone ahead and serged along the bottom of all my front pieces as well as my back piece. And now what we're going to do is just serge the armholes on all the front pieces and on the back piece as well. So this is me just going ahead, and make sure you take your time, do a really nice clean job of your serging. So now we've got something that looks like this. All those armholes are done, and we're going to attach our front pieces together. So remember, we want our wrong sides touching because we want to be able to see the stitching on the outside. So what I'm going to do is just serge all the way down the bottom there. So you keep going after you've got to the edge of that first piece, just keep going all the way down. So that's what that will look like once you've serged that. And again, you can see that the stitching is on the outside. And then next, what we have to do is just attach those front pieces to the back piece. And again, you're going to want to have your wrong sides touching. So I'm going to flip that over. And then you'll see me here, I'm just attaching them and making sure everything's really nicely lined up. And then what we're going to do is we are going to serge at the side and at the top of the shoulders and back down the other side. This is a super easy one. Like, I really like serging. I find it a lot easier than sewing, so this is actually a super easy project. So now what we're going to do is just serge all the way around that neck hole, because we don't want to leave that with a raw edge. So I'm just serging all the way around, which is super, super easy. So now you should have something that looks like this. Obviously we'll cut all our threads later. And now what we're going to do is attach all our little tabs that are going to let us lace up the top. So I always put one up the top and one down the bottom, and then I just fit the other 5 in between. So you should have 7 on either side. And then once you are happy with their placement, you will need to fold them in half. Obviously make sure the nice side of your stitching is showing. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. And it's really, really important to make sure that these match up, otherwise your top laces up a little bit weird. So then what I'm going to do is just serge all the way down, making sure that I catch the tabs on either side. So you should have something that looks like this after that's done. And then all we have to do is go ahead and lace up our top. So here I'm trying to decide which color of satin cord I want to use. You can literally use any kind of string, like yarn, string, a little bit of ribbon. So this one's actually a satin cord, and you can get this in so many colors, and it's really, really inexpensive. So I just picked it up from my local like Lincraft or Spotlight, or any craft store near you will probably have something similar. So then all you're going to have to do is just lace that one up and then tie it at the bottom. And as you can see, I chose a really cool rainbow color, and I think it looks really, really cool. So that's how our little top turned out. I think it's gorgeous. Okay guys, so this is how the top turned out. This is probably my new favorite style of top. I'm obsessed with the whole reverse seam top deal trend. I'm on it. I think it's really flattering that it laces up at the top, and it also kind of makes it a little bit adjustable, so you can have a little bit more showing or a little bit less showing, just based on how you tie it up. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave it a thumbs up because it really supports me and my channel. And of course, if you did enjoy the video and you want to see more tutorials from me, you can go ahead and subscribe. And of course, I'm on TikTok now. If you guys haven't already gone and followed me on there, you should definitely do so. I've been doing some very fun videos on there, and I will leave that link down below for you guys as well. But that's it from me today, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye!